Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Weekly Chat. Did you know 680,000 homes will be bought by new Canadians over the next 5 years? Beat the supply crunch? Watch now. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Weekly Chat. Alex Wilson here, team lead for alexjwilson.com. And of course we have Kyle DeVigi, our Director of Operations for RE/MAX Wealth Builders Real Estate. So today we're going to talk about immigration, but on top of that, there was a recent report that came out that over the next 5 years, there will be 680,000 homes purchased by new Canadians. And this is extremely relevant to the real estate world, and specifically the Toronto real estate world. So when we look at home ownership levels in Canada, the home ownership rate, the national rate is 68%. The rate for new Canadians is only 32%. So Kyle, what does this tell us?
It means they're going to want to buy properties.
They're going to want to, exactly. It's going to, if you just look statistically wise, it's going to raise to the mean eventually wise. Reading down into this report was put together by Royal LePage. Typically, new Canadians wait 3 years once they arrive in Canada to purchase their new homes. So you have a 3-year lag in time, and in between that, they're renting properties. Great news for investors because now you have this whole influx of individuals, and the majority of them rent when they first come here. So that's a 3-year period that you're going to have new individuals renting. And guess what? The number one place for new immigrants come, where is it, Kyle?
It's the GTA.
It's GTA, because we have the population, the largest population center in Canada. We're responsible for 20% of the GDP, so we have the economic growth engine. This is where the jobs are. And Toronto is also the most multicultural city in the world. So no matter where I'm coming from, I'm going to find a place that I'm comfortable here in Toronto-wise. So they're going to end up in the GTA. And when we look at our immigration levels, in 2019, Canada is welcoming 350,000 new immigrants. And that number is still continuing to go up. In 2020, 360,000 new immigrants. In 2021, 370,000 new immigrants. Now when you do the math, okay, well, all those individuals need somewhere to live, and they're going to be renting for 3 years, and then after 3 years, they're going to be buying new properties. And you have a whole pipeline still being filled of individuals that need roofs over their heads.
And can I put this into perspective a little bit? Like Alex said, there's 350,000 people coming a year, with that increasing slightly. So over 5 years, that's about 1,750,000 people coming to Canada, which is pretty amazing. Ontario gets about 45% of those, and the GTA gets about 77% of all of those that come to Ontario. So it works out to about the GTA getting about 35% of all immigrants coming to Canada, which is pretty amazing. Works out to about 115,000 people a year. So if you were going to guess, if you were going to rank 110,000 people coming to the GTA, how would that compare to other population centers in Canada? What would you guess?
I love it. Kyle did his homework.
Yeah, I researched it a little bit.
I have no idea.
A brand new city being formed. Just guess. What would you think out of all of Canada? How would that rank it?
Number 10?
Not quite that high. There are some big population centers, but it would be in the top 30 of all population centers across the entire country. New city being created each and every year in the GTA.
Well, hey, there we go. We're both from Sudbury. It's basically a Sudbury every year. Sudbury population about 110,000.
Exactly. And a lot of these immigrants coming, about 55% are actually economic immigrants. So these are skilled people coming into Canada because we need them for their trades, their skills that they have. And something like 75% of them are bringing money into the country as well.
They got the money, guys.
Yeah.
This has been saved for. This migration has been saved for and planned for, and they want to put down roots right away and start. The reason they make the jump is for their family wise. They're not just sitting here going like, "Hey, I want to move to cold Canada." they don't want to. They're probably leaving a better weather situation than coming here, but they're coming here for the opportunity wise. They have the savings. They want to establish themselves here. They're bringing the funds to make the investment in this country once they get a lay of the land and everything. These aren't your poor individuals. These are individuals that are buying up properties.
Yeah, less than 15% of new immigrants coming to Canada are refugees, or people that are portrayed in the news as drains and that sort of thing. Not what's happening generally with the immigration coming to the GTA in Canada.
And so we looked at the 680 homes. That's just roofs over those individuals' heads. We haven't got into the fact that once they buy their home, they're going to start looking at investment properties as well. So now they want to start adding investment properties to their portfolios wise because they know real estate works. They look at the numbers, they see there's roofs that are needed over people's heads, and we're going to invest in these roofs over people's heads, and they're going to start renting out the properties to those individuals as well. So now you have a compounding effect. So in three years, these individuals will be buying their homes, and maybe in 5 years, they'll be buying their investment properties because they're also looking to lock in. They're looking at it as a real estate portfolio, but what they're looking for as well is like establishing something for their children as well. So a lot of the individuals we sell condos to, they're like, okay, we'll buy this for investment wise, but it's also going to be a great place if our kids want to live in Toronto, or if they're going to be going to school in Toronto wise, this is a gift to our children in the future. Because they're coming from huge population centers where, guess what? The freehold house is non-existent, does not exist. That is a rarity to North America wise. So these high-rise towers, they know are the reality, and they're putting their money into what's going to be the reality, and it's what's becoming the reality in Toronto wise. So just another reason we see continued growth in the real estate market, and specifically the condo market, because in that same article as well, what are these individuals looking for, Kyle?
Well, they typically bring their families over.
Yeah. Well, they're looking for affordable options.
Well, yes,
yeah,
of course. So they have to start just like
yes.
everyone else here. So they're going to buy that entry level. And that's where, it was funny, a reference in the article, anything under $500,000. You get anything for that in Toronto anymore?
Yeah,
it's getting really. very difficult. And if it is, it's a studio.
Yeah.
Or a very small one bedroom.
Yeah, you're very, very limited those options.
So we say entry level is more like 500 to $1 million now, right? And that's what they're going to start to invest in and live in. And then eventually moving up the property chain, just like all of us. Once you have a family, you expand, you buy the bigger property.
And this is really simple math. This is not complicated math. When you look at the numbers wise, 350,000, we know that happened. 360, 370, that is planned for, that will happen wise. These home ownership rates are rates that have been set over years and years and years and years. We are just going towards the mean wise with these new immigrants that are coming here. And with the new government that was just elected, they do have they are pro-immigration in regards to their mandate wise. So we know that immigration levels are secure for the next few years, which then creates this whole pipeline of buying wise. And when we look at the supply, and you hear it time and time again, not just from us, everyone else, there is a supply issue in Toronto wise, a fundamental supply issue in Toronto wise that is not being met, and demand continues to outstrip supply by a significant amount. And there is no change that can happen tomorrow, which is going to impact supply levels. So that means in the future, prices will continue to go up, rents are going to continue to go up, because these are the reality of the immigration levels that are coming in.
Yeah,
and
exactly. And for the 680,000 homes that are going to be bought across all of Canada, it works out to about 45,000 in the GTA. Do you know how many completions there were in the GTA that exceeded 45,000 in the last about 20 years?
Was there zero?
There were
one.
2 years that came close, 2002 and 2015, and they were just above it, like 100 above it.
I know we're not making it this year.
Otherwise, we're well below that each and every year. And that's just immigration. That's not natural population. That's not urbanization that's happening either. That's going to continue to push and drive those prices.
Because we also have the jobs.
Exactly.
This is where the jobs are.
Exactly.
This is where people are coming to work.
Absolutely. So it's definitely going to support the pricing, and especially on the lower end, because they're going to want to buy their first properties and then eventually move up, just like all of us.
So immigration, is going to lead to continued population growth and immigration is going to lead to continued need for housing.
Absolutely.
That's easy as it is. So we end it there?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to get on the train and beat the supply crunch of new immigrants coming here and to ride that wave and get into the investment condo world, send us an email, contact@alexjwilson.com or kyle@remaxwealth.com, right?
Yep.
remaxwealth.com. Reach out to us. We'd be happy to help you and build your financial portfolio, financial freedom, and generational wealth. Okay, guys, talk soon. Bye-bye.